Legend of Total War here, and today we're doing a Rate Your Doomstack video where we're covering an Exalted Flamer Doomstack. So we've got Kairos Fate Weaver at the command here, but we're not really supposed to be using him to, you know, wipe out all the forces. We already know that Kairos Fate Weaver can pretty much take on any amount of forces by himself just by spamming spells, because he's got unlimited winds of magic. But the guy in the email said basically not to use Kairos Fate Weaver, with the exception of just spamming spells randomly to heal the Exalted Flamers. But the main purpose of having him as the commander is basically for the extra barrier. So if we have a look at the stats of the Exalted Flamers of Cinch, they've got 195 range, which is pretty damn long range. That's one of the things I think they got boosted in the latest patch. They've only got 15 ammunition. That's probably going to be the biggest problem. Huge amounts of missile strength, but when we're dealing with... How many armies is this? That's 3 armies. I don't think that these are great against big blobs of infantry because they're single entity destroyers, right? So they're going to be fairly good against Terracotta Sentinels, but I think against all the infantry, they're just not going to be able to cope. So we'll see how that goes. Let's jump in here and see how they perform. But if they... Exalted Flamers are able to, you know, wipe out half of a unit of infantry in one blast. That'd be good. I haven't really used them that much. I know that they're really good against single entities because of obviously the extreme high damage. But I'm not sure how well they form against how well they fare against regular infantry. I also think they're going to be fairly vulnerable to missile fire, or just actually quite vulnerable to anything. They're very squishy units, but they're also reasonably fast, so we can outrun their infantry, and we can outrange them. Alright, we'll bounce powers. Okay, so, yeah, that's all good. Move this back. We're not going to utilize them at the start here. I don't think this is one of those scenarios where we should let them get organized. We should just try to go at them as soon as possible. But yeah, I think the biggest weakness of this is the limited amount of ammunition, but we'll see how we go. So yeah, don't let them get organized, let's go at them right now. Now remember that when we use Doomstacks, we're not supposed to, or when we rate Doomstacks, not supposed to use any sort of really intricate tactics. It's supposed to be idiot-proof. So we'll see how this goes. That's probably a bit too much. It's not great, considering how little ammunition we've got. And how much barrier do we have on them? It's a bit. Trying to be sparing with the ammunition now. And if we sent them into melee, they don't seem like they'll do a very good job. Yeah. I think the problem that we're seeing here is that they just don't kill enough entities with each shot. I imagine on smaller unit scale, this would actually be really good, because even though the damage scales on those small unit scales, you just have less entities to kill. Because I think we're overkilling these models. So on Ultra, this probably isn't viable, but on small unit scale, it would be. Because yeah, that 1,900 missile strength, it's just not killing enough models. It's just overkilling them. But on smaller unit scales, it wouldn't overkill those models because it'd be doing less damage, but there's fewer models to kill. So that's always a challenge, I suppose, when balancing something like this with different unit scales. It definitely seems like it'd be very viable on small unit scale. Let's come over here. Also, it doesn't have great line of sight. See, if I was to compare this to a different missile-based Doomstack, the Iron Blasters, they had more ammunition, and they also had better capability of, like, spread damage. I don't think the Fire Rain rockets are a good choice. What was that? Okay. Bounce power is not bad, though. Yeah, gotta be sparing with that ammunition. If I just go fire at will, we are going to run out of ammunition really quickly. Alright, let's see how it goes against a Terracotta Sentinel. Alright, there's one over here, actually. So, one shot from these 5 should just straight up kill the Terracotta Sentinel. Or at least get it very close to death. Because it's got 12,000... Yeah, you probably need to get more than one shot in. Just trying to get a clear line of sight. It wasn't as much damage as I thought that was going to do, actually. How much armor piercing does this do? Yeah, it's a fair amount. Oh, we're going up against the northern provinces and western provinces. Did they stalk that unit? Where'd it go? Yeah, big blob like that seems good. Because it also does explosion damage. You gotta rely on a bit of a blob. Alright, see if we can get rid of that. Yeah, in a choke point where they're blobbing up like this, it'd be pretty good. It's not really doing any damage to the Astromancer there. That's what I'm trying to aim for. Oh man, this is the idea. Yeah, it was stalking. Oh shit, this one. God damn it. I wasn't paying attention. It's gone. 2 health left. Can we get out of there? Oh, they must have done missile mirror on me. Oh, right. Of course. Quick, I might be able to heal it if I move fast enough. I might actually be able to heal it. Nah, it's too late. I didn't think about doing that in time. Get them out of there. Okay, so we got 1 down. It had already used up a fair amount of its ammunition, but that's still not good. Yeah, I didn't think about them using missile mirror. So I gotta be a bit more careful going forward now. But yeah, it definitely takes a fair bit to destroy even a single Terracotta Sentinel. Balance of power's out of our favor now. Move them out of there. But yeah, they got some good kills when they were blobbing up. So let's try to aim over here and just see how this goes. Because they're in a big blob. And if you're only going up against 1 army, I think this would be okay. But yeah, going up against 3... I don't know about that. Plus, you really need them to be in a blob like this, because we're doing a lot of explosion damage. Which just means it's hitting other units apart from the main target it was going for. Don't bother going after the sky junk. It can't really do anything to us. And if we want to win this battle with this army, we do need to aim at targets that we really do need to kill. And that's not one of them. Another problem with this unit is that as it uses up its ammunition, most of its balance of power is going to go away. So as we're shooting, we're losing balance of power. Which is why, even though we're getting loads of kills, it's not really changing much. Alright. That's... Where are you? Just get a cast in there for the life bloom. So what are you supposed to do when you run out of ammunition? See, that's one of the problems with a doom stack like this. There are other doom stacks where if you run out of ammunition, like missile-based doom stacks, you run out of ammunition and it's okay, you can still go into melee. But I think that this one in melee, they're going to struggle a fair bit. That's it. Try to get in there if we can. Because, yeah, we could very easily win this battle if we just use Kairos. Well, we're definitely going to need to get rid of the Terracotta Sentinels, because they're unbreakable. That's non-negotiable, so we've got to get rid of that. We also don't want to get too close, or else they're going to shoot at us as well. Try to use it as our max range. Maybe having all of them shoot at one target is not a great idea. Alright, we've got a few that have completely run out of ammo. Let's just move them back. It's a good thing the AI is not being particularly aggressive towards us, because if they want to win, all they have to do is get us into melee, just charge at us, but they're not doing that. It's a little bit iffy to hit them over here, just because of the terrain obstructions. But it would be really good. Once again, just make a crappy cast so that we get Life Bloom. Yeah, see, I can't aim at that unit from long range because the terrain's blocking them. I need to get them out of that terrain there. And don't worry about the Sky Junk, like I said, they can't really do much to single entities. A lot of, Terracotta Sentinels over there. Yeah, it's weird defensive position that they're taking. Bounce power's not horrible, but I imagine that once we use up all the ammunition here, it's definitely going to go down a fair bit. A lot of Terracotta Sentinels. If we have to rely too heavily on Kairos Fate Weaver, then this Doomstack, you know, isn't going to win the situation, essentially. Because this isn't a disaster battle. Guy doesn't need to save far back. But yeah, it's definitely not going to score maximum points. No way. This seems like a pretty good area, as long as we get over this hill here. Don't shoot in while we're in the trees there. Shoot into this various infantry. I think we could do a lot of damage. Yeah, if you can shoot down the line like this, that does tons of damage. That's what we want to see. Oh, that one's got Missile Mirror. So yeah, it's very terrain dependent. Hilly terrain, definitely not good for this unit. Lots of trees, also not good. Okay, let's get another heal in. Alright, another unit's run out of ammo. Send him over there. Yeah, bounce power slipping away. Despite us not taking any serious additional damage, it's just the ammunition's worth so much bounce of power. Do they still have reinforcements to come in? No, they've got all of their troops now. This battle definitely could have been fought a little bit better. But like I said, it's not a disaster battle. We don't have to fight the battle perfectly. We just got to test this out. These Doomstacks are supposed to be idiot-proof. Alright, over there. Just trying to get whatever we can in here now. Aim for the best targets we can. I mean, they're really being about as stupid as they can be. And we're not looking like we're going to win. They've done their worth. I'm not saying this is a bad army, but I think this sort of situation is too much for them. Gotta get rid of those terracotta sentinels. Alright, we've only got a handful. Just one unit left with any ammo. Yeah. You can see the balance of power actually slipped away, despite us not taking any serious damage. But... you know, the AI are not being particularly aggressive, so we might be able to go into melee and see how they go now that they've used up their ammo. But definitely not the entire army all at once. And if we can get a few heals in, that'd be good. Alright, this guy's got like one shot left. If we can just hit anything, it'll be fine. I'll think about going into melee with this Terracotta Sentinel, but the problem here is that it's only going to take a couple of hits to completely kill a Exalted Flamer. But this is the best case scenario for dealing with them. Alright, it's out of ammo. Alright, get all of them together. All of them versus the one Terracotta Sentinel. We'll see how it does. Yeah, they're being really passive. You're just not going to get a situation like this all the time where the AI is just going to sit there and let you pick them apart. So if you ever look at the damage output, yeah, they definitely did their worth, for sure. They're a good unit. But are they a good Doomstack? I don't know, I don't think so. You know, one army versus one army Doomstacks don't really rank pretty well. You know, especially considering the Terracotta Sentinel Doomstack was able to take on 4 armies. The Bloodthirster Doomstack is able to take on 4 armies. This one here, maybe 2. Oops. Okay. At least one hit doesn't quite get rid of all of their barrier, so that's good. If we can manage to cycle them out. Alright, let's see how they go against this. So as soon as they get hit, just get them out so they can recharge. And they're managing this okay. Alright, now they're coming at us. Too bad there's no way for them to regenerate ammunition, although that would make it very overpowered. Although Khorne can do it. Alright, that's one Terracotta Sentinel down. Alright, if we have a look at how much is left, we've taken out half of their forces. We've only lost 1 unit. Kairos could very easily take on this by himself now. Alright, using a depleted missile army in melee. Let's see how we manage. Yeah, this army would definitely be best in Kairos' army. None of the other Exalted Keeper of Secrets... Keeper of Secrets? Lord of Change, oh my god. Would be able to boost them in any better way than Kairos. No, get back. Keep the missile units back, but the melee units, bring them forward. Could also pop that down, but let's not use the army abilities. Like I said, it doesn't matter whether we win or lose. It's a test. But yeah, the guy in the email said he didn't think he could win the battle with this anyway. It was just too much for it. But I'm going to see if I can do it. It's going to be tough though. Alright. That should be able to handle that. Keep this one back. See, now we should be able to gain balance of power, since we're not really losing it by going into melee. We're not losing anything, as long as they don't get past our shields. Come on, before he gets to any of the shields. There we go, good stuff. And their speed of 50 makes them quite viable to get away from melee units, or infantry units, I mean. They definitely can't outrun cavalry. So, curious to see how they do against it. There's definitely still some more terracotta sentinels. What have these guys got? They got a bunch of summons we... no, we shouldn't be using... I don't know, I guess we could. Should we? They're not part of the army. The whole point here is don't use Kairos. Maybe I'll give them some support. Don't use the fire magic, because that'd annihilate all their infantry really easily. But maybe using the summons wouldn't be so bad. Right, I'm going to send all of them to go fight those Jade Lancers, because that shouldn't be a problem for them. Because Jade Lancers aren't great fighters. Definitely not anti-large. And I'll keep these guys pinned down fighting some pink horrors. You guys just get around that. Didn't want to summon too many pink horrors because they will decay. So use them a bit sparingly. If I use them all up in one go, I don't think that's a good use of them right now. Okay, in melee against cavalry, they seem to do alright. Yeah, a flamestorm in there would do so much damage, but like I said, we don't want to rely too heavily on using magic abilities when we're using specific unit stack doom stacks.
The Weaver's decree.
Yeah, those cavalry got wrecked by them. So that's good.
The Deceiver's servant, the Lord of the Sky, arises.
Alright, going up against a bunch of Jade Warriors Halberd next. Let's see how they fare.
It is his will.
Well, they do a lot of knockdown, so that's pretty good. They've only got 27 melee defense, so once they get back up and start fighting, they'll probably do a fair bit of damage. How are they going for ward save or physical resistance? Yeah, it's a standard demon. Physical resistance 20%. They're managing there. A flamestorm in here would be really good. Very tempting to do it. Very tempting. Okay, we've got a terracotta sentinel coming in. So just don't get caught by that while fighting melee infantry. Basically got to use this in a hit and run method. Yeah, they're just going to ignore Kairos. Got no problem fighting the Terracotta Sentinel, just not near their melee infantry, so we've just got to outrun it. Their speed's 48, these guys here speed 28, will easily outrun it. Also got Lord of Change summons. But I actually think the Pink Horrors are a better summon, because they kind of get more damage done, whereas these guys, while they're a higher tier unit, because they don't last very long, and they don't do as much damage as the pink horrors. They're not quite as useful. They're mainly useful for just like taking on another single entity for a short time.
We are the cult.
That's it. Keep putting more tar pits in here to slow down the infantry so that these guys here can fight the Terracotta Sentinel undisturbed.
The schemer call.
Try to get it surrounded if we can. That way somebody is hitting it at 0 melee defense. Just take out the damage once, cycle them out. That's good.
For the changer of ways. We are many.
Yeah, they're actually managing against the Terracotta Sentinels in melee quite well. That's interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. As long as you send all of them up against just one, they can manage. Bounce of power's now even. Another Terracotta Sentinel on the way, and this one here is down. They took it out reasonably quick. Considering they're a missile unit, that wasn't bad. We didn't take any damage. Oh. They have decided to go after Kairos. So we'll fly somewhere where they can't get us. But yeah, just to reiterate, we could very easily win this battle without using any other troops but Kairos. He could have done this all by himself. Because he just used the Blue Fire of Sinch to take out the Terracotta Sentinels, and that's super easy. Alright, we got cavalry hitting us here. They just caught up to us.
The cult is ready. I will move.
And they absolutely smashed the cavalry. Good stuff. Seems like they're just trying to pin us down with the cavalry so that the melee infantry can get up, catch up.
Perish in eldritch flame. Change deceit power. For the changer of ways. On your word, I will move. We are the cult.
Just wait for these guys here to catch up.
We are many.
We're running out of summons. Still got a couple left. But the bounce power is looking pretty good now, so we probably don't need that much more. Very tempting to use the fire magic. Very tempting. These ones here should be able to deal with it by itself. Alright, let's keep casting this. Gotta get those little bits of heals in. Mainly just to get some more balance of power. Even just a little bit, so we can inflict a relatively early army loss.
Many eyes shall see. Sinchian cultists.
They're just punching through all of their winds of magic to try to kill a summon, where all they need to do is just wait it out. This guy's got 2. Maybe it's their animation that makes them difficult to hit, because I would have thought that the Terracotta Sentinels would take these guys out really quickly, but that just doesn't seem to be the case. Again, so tempting to use fire magic there. And this. Go that way. Alright. Other targets to hit. Mainly looking for high bounce power targets. Yeah, look, that's trying to get Kairos. It can't reach him. Could go after the fire rain rockets, but they're pretty low on ammunition and they're not really doing that much damage to us anyway. Alright, I guess I think the big problem here is watching out for the missile units. They're very vulnerable to getting shot. So what might be beneficial is sending somebody in there to give them something else to shoot. God. Still very tempted to use magic. Good, that one's sped out of ammo. And they're killing their own units with the Hell Fire Rain rocket batteries. Bounce power's in our favor now. Yeah, the melee infantry don't seem to be the concern. It's the crossbowmen there. Just gotta keep them pinned down.
Changing ways. Run. We are many.
To send in the Lords of Change one at a time. Send them all at once, it's just not going to do as well. Bounce power is shifting. Alright, it's got a handful of summons remaining.
For the changer of ways. Charge!
So in case you're wondering what the hell I'm doing there with these pink fires of Cinch, every time I make a cast, it activates Life Bloom, which provides us with 1% health regeneration across every unit on the board. Allied unit, that is. That's how we're getting our healing in. And because he's also got life leeching, it doesn't actually cost us any winds of magic whatsoever, because it's a cheap spell.
Cinchian cultists.
So yeah, it doesn't actually get that many kills, the Lord of Change. Yep, them dropping that bomb's just wasting bounce of power. The only one of us that can go and get that now is Kairos, or the Lord of Change summon, which I wouldn't bother with. That's got effectively 0 bounce of power remaining. Come on, zigzag it. Zigzag it, stop getting shot. Another benefit is also the extra ward save when we make a cast.
The changer rewards me.
Having the cultist fight among them is pretty useful, because this one's got a Helm of Discord.
We are the cult. many eyes shall see.
The army losses should be coming in fairly soon now. Alright, let's get these missile units. So you can see here, it's healing because of Kairos' cast.
Attack! They will burn. On your word.
Okay, last pink
Conjure.
horror summon coming in. And then I've got one more Lord of Change to come in.
Eyes of Finch.
That's it, that's what we want. Them just constantly shooting at the Lord of Change. It doesn't do much damage, but it can soak up a lot of it.
The schemer call. Perish in eldritch flame. And I'll mangle them.
Alright, here's no, we don't need to do the summon just yet. We're good for now. Good. Well, the AI definitely fought this battle really badly. They definitely could have won if they had been a bit more aggressive. Or a lot more aggressive, because they were very passive in this fight. But they did surprisingly well in melee. Which I wasn't expecting. I thought they'd be absolutely awful in melee. I took out cavalry very easily. Took out the Terracotta Sentinels without too much trouble. Melee infantry wasn't that bad. Just waiting on the army losses now, which really shouldn't be too far off.
My master bids move.
So they seem to be better in melee than the cultists.
Moving.
I got one last summon, just keep these ones over here off my back a little bit longer.
Scared 9. Yes. Spread change. We are many. Yes, master.
Well, this one here's taking damage real quick. Get it out, get it out, get it out, get it out.
Get there.
Don't, wow, you're dying really quick there. Unfortunately, just hang on. Try to save him. Doesn't matter if he leaves the battlefield, but try to save him. Those Celestial Dragon Guard, absolutely fucked right there. Alright, he should rally. He just needs to get away a little bit.
Cultist of siege.
Eternal Sclaya.
Should come back.
For the changer of ways.
It will be. Science.
Let's get those life blooms in.
This way.
Yeah, he'll come back. He'll come back. As soon as he can get far enough away from another unit. That Celestial Dragon
Finchian
crossbowman over here is worth tons of bounce power. Still got plenty of its ammunition. We should aim for that. And it's also a dangerous unit. Oh, God. Yeah, it seems like the cultists get stuck a lot easier than the flamers. Seem to have a decent amount of mass to just push right through.
moving.
The wind.
At once.
Okay, he finally rallies.
Change, deceit, power.
Still no army losses. It should be really close though. It's probably one of the reasons why it's probably not activating yet is because we lost so much balance of power just because of how much ammunition we used up and how much it actually accounted for.
We are many. On your word. We are the cult. Many eyes shall see.
Yeah, this would not work, I think, with a regular Exalted Lord of Change. Well, it definitely wouldn't work anywhere near as well. So Kairos is definitely the right choice for this, but he's kind of the right choice for every Tzeentchian Doomstack, since he boosts every Tzeentchian unit by pretty much the same amount. Because he augments their barrier. And his passives are just really good. So tempting to use this.
Yes.
This guy's bloody stuck over here.
The nine. Changing way.
Very tempting to use the Flamestorm. I'm thinking about it. No, he'll be fine, he'll be fine. Would speed things up, that's for sure.
Your will. The schemer calls.
Spread change.
Ooh, that's doing some damage there. Yeah, they're definitely most vulnerable to all these missile units. Really, really vulnerable to it.
The deceiver's servants.
Tzeentchian cultists. Fight.
Attack.
The deceiver's servant. The cult is ready.
Change. Deceit.
For the changer of ways. On your word. Yes.
Just try to keep them pinned down so they stop bloody shooting.
We are many.
And no more summons left.
Many eyes shall see.
Get there. I'll mangle them.
Attack.
Come on, give me that damn army losses. They've clearly lost. There we go. Well, that performed a lot better than I thought it would. I wasn't even sure if we were going to win that battle. Yeah, he said in the email, I'm just looking at it here, the enemy force is too much to handle for the Exalted Flamers, in his opinion at least. Well, it definitely wasn't. I think that was an unnecessary loss there. Just because I wasn't paying attention to Missile Mirror, I just forgot it existed. Which is always a big problem for high damage units, but all of them did a pretty good job. Now, is this a good Doomstack? Probably not. But let's have a look at how much it's costing compared to other kinds of Doomstacks that you can build. Because with Kairos, the best Doomstack is really just get a couple of heroes together and just have him do all the work. What you want to do with Kairos is try to get him Stalk from, what's it called, Snicked, and also go and get Tretch Craventail's defeat trait because it provides extra speed. Don't need to send the save file back, so this stuff here, just ignore it. So there's no way I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10, but it did win against 3 full stacks, so that's not bad. without me having to use Kairos as dishing out damage, nor did I have to use the Flamestorm, which really could have made things a lot easier as well. So, cost-wise, it's pretty good. We're... Alright, he's not playing on high campaign difficulty. I'd probably rate this 8.5 out of 10. It was surprisingly good. Definitely not something that I would recommend. This comes down to whether or not you want to do this. I've got nothing against people using a couple of Exalted Flamers in their army, but I don't think you should spam them. I don't think that's a good idea, but you can make it work against Cathay at least. I imagine this would be pretty good against Ogres, because you wouldn't be overkilling all those entities. But then again, if you can get a nice big blob in, all of that explosion damage really does matter. Anyway, that's the end of this one here, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this particular Doom stack. That's the end of this one. Appreciate you, and we'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.